2017. 2 men were shot dead at a Chicago bar in the early morning hours of Sunday, and more than a dozen people were hurt in 9 other shooting incidents also on Sunday. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports 2 protesters dangling from a ceiling support at the U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis unfurled a banner criticizing the Dakota Access Pipeline during an NFL game on Sunday between the Minnesota Vikings and Chicago Bears. The banner urged Minneapolis-based U.S. Bank to divest from the $3.8 billion pipeline crossing 4 states. Construction in North Dakota prompted protests by Native Americans and environmentalists who say the project will harm water resources and sacred lands. The federal government ruled in December against that stretch of the project. The 2 protesters, a man and a woman, climbed down after the game ended and were arrested, according to police. After undergoing medical evaluations, the pair were jailed on burglary and trespassing charges. Another woman was charged with obstructing the legal process and also booked into jail. Police said the protesters climbed to the top of the stadium and hung a banner reading "Divest" in big letters, as well as #NoDAPL, according to media images. Play was not interrupted during the game, won by the Vikings 38-10, but police said a section of seats below the banner was cleared as a precaution. 5 demonstrators were arrested last week in the first protest since the federal government decided against the project. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
The new Netflix Gas lets users instantly inhale multiple seasons of TV shows. An area man is worried the nation's healthcare debate might be getting political, and a bullied 8th grader incorrectly thought classmates would leave him alone during a field trip to the 9/11 memorial. Don't mistake my kind, gentle tone for one of love or support. This is the Onion Week in Review. According to a report released this Tuesday, no one, absolutely no one, will ever stack up to your 8th grade boyfriend, Brian Bowden, who you dated for 6 weeks in middle school. A 43-page study from Stanford University confirmed that no other guy in your life will ever be as kind or caring as the 13-year-old who held your hand during the scary parts of Jurassic Park, who had that really cool chain wallet, and who bought you 2 pink carnations on Valentine's Day. The report added that while your current boyfriend does have a lot going for him, he will certainly never cut class with you to listen to the Dead Kennedys' Frankenchrist on a Sony Discman. Brian used to do that with you. He used to do it all the time.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live, and of course, as always, you can take control of the airwaves here and bring up anything that happens to be on your mind. It's 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Daryl.
We actually all have some police-related stories to kick the show off here this evening. Coming up, we're going to hear about a police officer who decided to go on a crazy rampage, crashing into a donut shop. Melanie's got that story.
He was hungry.
And then, Daryl, you're going to open us out here tonight with another police story. This one is about a guy who loved the police.
Yeah, and still does.
And then was arrested by them.
And charged with attempted murder.
He was trying to murder a cop?
I'll tell you.
Okay, yeah, I don't know the story, so let's hear about it.
The story comes from Photography is Not a Crime.
Great website.
And there's a picture of this guy, and he's got his arm in a sling, and he's wearing not the prison orange jumpsuit, but like a brown, he's wearing prison garb. And it says, the California man who stepped out of a car during a traffic stop wielding a rifle to prove cops are good people would not shoot him. Not only ended up getting shot multiple times, he is now being charged with attempted murder.
Wow.
Because he stepped out of the vehicle holding a rifle. So they're charging him with attempted murder.
Now, just to be clear, he was the one who was pulled over.
Correct.
Okay. I just
Yes.
wasn't sure if he just pulled up on the scene of somebody else's pullover and stepped out with a rifle.
He got pulled over and stepped out. Jose.
No, holding a rifle, right? Not with a rifle, but actually like brandishing a rifle.
Yes. Jose Vaca is now facing a possible life sentence in prison, but chances are he will maintain his positive attitude towards police. After all, even after he was shot at least 9 times, by Bakersfield police on December 19th, he still told reporters that he believes there are good cops. And while that may be up for debate, there's no question that there are terrified cops out there who are trained to treat citizens as enemy combatants. So it's stupid to step out of a car with a loaded rifle during a traffic stop, even if you don't aim it at them.
Yeah.
After all, how many people have been shot for stepping out of a car, holding a cell phone, reaching for a cane, reaching for their wallet, after being ordered to do so? And there are links to each of those incidents.
Right, yeah. I mean,
if you're going to do it, you can't do it halfway. This is kind of a go big or go home situation. If you're like, I want this to be the last thing I do, that's probably a poor decision, but then you have to actually do it. You can't, or better option would be to not do it, but you can't like brandish a weapon near a cop because then you'll probably just die.
Yeah, no doubt about it. In this case, it's very interesting because he loves the police. Now, what is it that lets us know that this guy is such a cop lover? Did he have Facebook updates, or was there some sort of statement that he made as he was stepping out of the car?
He told reporters he still believes there are good cops.
Right, but I just was wondering, like, it sounded like he did that action for the purpose of proving that the cops would not.
So let me explain.
Yeah.
There's more to the story. And Bakersfield police are considered the deadliest police department in the country.
Really?
But Vaca, who is 29 and already a convicted felon and alleged gang member, was not allowed to even own a firearm, and he was under the impression that by stepping out of the car with the rifle, he would be welcomed warmly by the police, who would thank him for showing the gun.
Well, I mean,
instead of making them search the car for it.
Maybe he was expecting some, like, industry courtesy there. We're like, yeah, I'm a gang member, you're a gang member. We're not going to shoot each other, right? We're just going to go press these other people.
Normally, I wouldn't be laughing at this tragic act, but since he loved the cops so much, it is pretty hilarious.
I mean, this doesn't even make sense by statist standards. Because if there's an industry that I'm not adamantly opposed to, I'm not going to be like, hey, you know what? I don't think that the people at Market Basket are going to shoot me, so therefore I'm going to walk in with a pistol in my hand, waving it around to prove they won't shoot me. Because, first of all, I don't have to prove that because it's not like an assumption that they will, because they don't go around doing it. But then if you start actually threatening people, they might react differently than how they normally react.
Well, I would say the cops did not react differently than how they would normally react in this particular case. But yeah, you were talking about the Market Basket folks.
Normal, peaceful people who don't shoot other humans for fun.
In this case, you can kind of understand where the cops were coming from in this particular matter. I mean, if somebody gets out of the car brandishing a rifle, it's understandable.
They're probably walking towards you.
Yeah.
This sounds like one of those people who thinks that it's okay at a traffic stop to it's okay, but who thinks it's safe at a traffic stop to get out the car and start walking around.
I have done that a few times, and
but did you do it with the understanding this is a dangerous thing to do?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, because I've met these people who are kind of like pumpkin spice drinking suburban living at people.
Really?
That genre of people who were like, oh, I got stopped for speeding, and then I just got out of the car because I was going to explain it to the officer, and then he pulled a gun on me. I'm like, yeah, he did. Like, why would you? What are you doing?
It makes them very nervous, and I don't think I would be as comfortable doing something like that outside of New Hampshire. So one of the examples.
Well, yeah, this was in Louisiana, so this person was entirely insane. But
so the best example that I can think of was the DUI checkpoint that happened here. I think it was 2012. Were you at that one, Daryl?
I was not.
So this checkpoint happened out in a place called Walpole, which is basically the middle of nowhere. It's the very southwestern edge of New Hampshire, right on the Vermont border. And they'd set up a DUI checkpoint out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, they wouldn't have all night long. They probably didn't have more than 15 cars go through. I mean, it was just a a terrible place for one. But I guess there's plenty of drunk people driving from a bar to their house or something like that on a night like that. And so we went out there with like a dozen activists and very very successfully interdicted that particular checkpoint, because there was a workaround, like a path that cars could take to get around the checkpoint. And so we had somebody standing out in front of that with a sign and like waving people in the direction to where they would be safe. And there was at least one car of kids, like teenagers, that pulled up, and the smell of marijuana was wafting out of the windows as they were talking with one of the cop blockers. So we definitely saved somebody on that particular night. And then me and Garrett Ian went through the checkpoint in this old police cruiser that I drive around. And Garrett was driving. I had my video camera. I was in the passenger seat. And so all this is on video. He's got a like an IBC root beer bottle that he's swigging from while he's talking to the cop. And once the cop stops him and starts talking to him, I just decide I'd like to go out for a walk because it's a nice night, and I'm just a passenger in this vehicle, so why should I have to stay here and put up with this? And so I stepped out of the vehicle, camera still running, and two other officers, because again there were a bunch of them crawling around. Two of the officers, including the officer in charge of that particular checkpoint, one of them started shouting at me to get back in the vehicle. Get back in the car! Yeah, and I was like, but it's a nice night out, and I'd like to take a walk. Is that an order, or are you just asking me to get back in the car? And he got up right in my face and yelled at me that was an order, and if I didn't do it, I'd be arrested for disorderly conduct.
Well, right, but you did that with the understanding of I'm cop blocking. This is a dangerous.
Oh, it was very dangerous.
Activity.
I did it with the understanding.
I'm doing this risk for a specific benefit, not. Oh, I think that I'm just going to get out and explain to this officer why I was going 5 over.
Yeah, no, I was going to go walk. I was going to take a walk. It was nice.
That's going to go well somehow.
And the only person that wound up getting arrested was another one of the cop blockers.
That's right, who went through alone.
And did not have his video camera running.
It was he made a huge mistake on that one. But, I thought if I'd wanted to, I probably could have fought that charge. Would be my guess. What do you think, Melanie? Like, if I'd gone ahead and just been like, well, I'm taking a walk, and then turned around and walked away.
Well, the federal Supreme Court has tons and tons of case law ruling that passengers of cars are free to go. Therefore, they're not detained. Therefore, they're not being detained legally. So I don't know how they would reconcile that. My concern would be more of getting shot than it would be getting convicted.
Yeah, that would have been my concern. Well, that was my concern just even getting out of the car. I mean, I was successfully out of the car at that point. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think it would stick, but at that point, I think I was on a suspended sentence, and I was like, yeah, I don't feel like getting arrested. So I went back into the car. 855 450 free. You can join us here. More to the story, Daryl?
Yes.
Coming up, Free Talk Live.
The following is an incredible, life-changing free offer for anyone with hearing problems who wants to start hearing more clearly again. We're now offering free in-home trials of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear to anyone who calls this special toll-free number now, 1-800-957-5495. Call now and you'll also qualify for free shipping. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers. It adjusts to let you find the perfect way to hear things crisply and clearly, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And Listen Clear is so small and discreet, people usually don't even notice you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. Don't miss this special life-changing opportunity to hear things more clearly again for free with a 100% free in-home trial and free shipping. If you like it, you could even get free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-957-5495. That's 1-800-957-5495. 1-800-957-5495.
Good day, America. Are you tired of your butt cheeks being frozen? Tired of cold hands or cold feet? I'm tired of the cold. Well, there's a new kid on the block. It's Fortress Clothing. Fortress will keep you warm. Fortress does what no other clothing company has ever done. We keep you warm in the cold, even when wet. You heard that right, even when wet. No BS, no gimmicks. Work, play, sweat in the cold, and stay warm. So quit your complaining and go to fortressclothing.com. FortressClothing.com, enter coupon code AMERICA and get 20% off any item. Mittens, jackets, pants, balaclavas, or hot socks. FortressClothing.com, enter coupon code AMERICA. You're going to love being warm all winter long. FortressClothing.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free, bring up whatever you want here on this day after New Year's Day edition, which is apparently a holiday for a lot of people. They just decided to take an extra day off. So everybody's getting back to work tomorrow. But we're here tonight. We're here live in the studio talking about getting out of a car at a police stop with a gun in your hands. Bad plan. It's a bad plan.
Especially if you're a felon.
Anytime. Yeah, the cop's not going to know.
They're not going to run your record before they kill you, though. Like, this isn't really necessarily even a getting convicted problem. This is a surviving the encounter problem.
Even if the cop did run, pull up your plate and see your name and maybe any kind of history next to it, even if it did say, legal gun owner next to it, I don't think that would really affect how they handled that situation either.
You're getting, it doesn't matter.
Right, no, I'm just saying.
First of all, just getting out of the car is a
risky.
form of almost...
Yeah,
I don't want to say
risky.
suicide, but it's
high
you're
risk.
not necessarily surviving that.
Right. And I'm not saying, it's a smart move anyway. I'm saying it's especially bad if you are legally prohibited from owning said firearm.
And brandishing weapons in public is illegal in most places anyway.
That's right.
So even if you are legal to possess a gun in theory, you're possessing it in an illegal manner.
Right.
So it's a firearms charge either way.
The man in question, Jose Vaca, was initially charged with 11 criminal counts, including felon in possession of a firearm and participating in a criminal street gang. He was also charged with attempted murder at his arraignment, and he told local media in a jailhouse interview that he deliberately approached officers carrying the weapon to test a theory he had about police brutality.
Okay.
He claims he never pointed the loaded weapon at the officers and that the officers never told him to stop walking before they began opening fire.
Yeah. Wow.
He claims, again, that he never pointed at the officers, and he believes that the district attorney is trying to force a plea bargain by charging him with a crime he did not commit.
Gee, you think? That's exactly
what the function of the district attorney.
Yeah. Isn't that also the function of the plea bargain is, hey, let's do the spaghetti poo thing and pull up as many charges as we can think of, throw it against a wall, and see what sticks?
So if you want to join us here, by the way, you can. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Plus, I want to let you know about MyPillow. It is a great pillow. In fact, you may think it's the best pillow you've ever used. If you don't think that about MyPillow, once you try it out, you can send it back to them because they've got a 60-day money-back guarantee on MyPillow. I've been using it for several months, and it is great. Plus, you can wash and dry your MyPillow. You can put it in the washer and dryer. It's designed for that. Go to MyPillow.com, use code FTL like Free Talk Live. Get one MyPillow at half price, or get two for the price of one. It is up to you. And by the way, there's also a 10-year warranty on the product, so they really do stand behind the MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com and use code FTL like Free Talk Live to get the deal. So let's see. This guy wanted to test a theory about the police being good people.
Yes.
I mean, which doesn't even really stand, because if these were regular people, if you walked up to a regular person and did this and they shot you, that doesn't really prove they're a bad person.
That's true.
So this is an invalid test in the first place.
Absolutely. The guy is a moron, and he's lucky to have any kind of life left in his body after this incident.
Right. And again, he said that he wanted to show them the weapon so that they wouldn't find it upon searching the car. I guess he had the idea of, if I show them all of the illegal stuff that I have, then I won't wind up with as many charges.
So many people have that idea, and it is absolutely false. And then I have to explain to them why talking to the cop about your crimes isn't whatever theory they think it is.
Right, but a lot of times, police have caused people to believe if I give up information to the cops, then it's not going to be so bad, because police will say,
because
hey,
if you
just
go
tell
around
me,
believing what police tell you, I guess you'll come up with that idea, but that's kind of dumb also.
Because police will say, if you just tell me, then it's not going to be so bad on you.
Yeah, I'll help you out.
And pyramid schemes will tell you that you can quit your job and make $60,000 a year by posting on Facebook. That doesn't mean that you should believe it.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything you're saying here tonight, Melanie, is spot on, and it's hard to counter the programming that people have about police. People are raised to believe that the police are honest. They're all the propaganda is like, here's your buddy the cop. If you've got a problem, kids, go see a police officer. There's all.
I don't know. I understand. And on one level, from a scientific level, I understand the psychology of why that works. But at the same time, I completely don't understand why that works, because it's not like I lived in some other planet for 18 years. I've seen all of this, and I don't understand why anybody would believe it at all.
Well, you're an attorney, and so you've certainly, you're trained as an attorney.
I loved cops until 3 years ago. I never liked them.
Well, I don't know what happened to you in the early on in your life to disabuse you of the notion that the police are there to help. But I think there are a lot of people. I mean, this guy's a felon, and he still believed in the police. I mean, the fact that you could
lots of people have really bad Stockholm syndrome.
Absolutely. I saw it when I was in jail for civil disobedience. There were guys in there who were beating themselves up verbally because they'd, done something bad, even though they hadn't. They'd gotten convicted for some victimless crime.
The people I've met personally with the worst Stockholm syndrome have done hard time. And I think that part of the reason why that is, and it doesn't necessarily make sense to me on a personal level, because it's okay, you got abused some more, but I understand the science behind it. Okay, so you had an extra 20 years to, program this guy and abuse him mentally until he believes you. So it does make some sense on that level. But I just, how are you so disassociated from reality and what you see every day for the proposition that cops are good people, or especially that they're helpful people, to be even remotely
we
sane
talked
to
about
you?
this a couple of nights ago. There was the survey by Gallup from back in October, but I just saw the numbers a few days ago, where 76% of Americans have a great deal of respect for police.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised by that number. I mean, and it was a record high, right?
1 point lower than the record high from 1967.
But much higher than last year, too, if I recall correctly.
12 percentage points higher.
Yeah.
So, virtually the same when you look at the margin of of error, it's basically the same as what the highest ever.
I mean, when I saw those numbers, I was really shocked because I figured, like you, Melanie, I mean, how could somebody be an adult? They surveyed registered voters, was it? I think in that case, we don't have it in front of us, but yeah, I think it was like registered voters.
It was definitely adults.
Yeah, they definitely surveyed adults about this. Like, how can you become an adult and not realize the police are untrustworthy and out to get you in a lot of ways? I mean, there may be a few exceptions.
You know, there's a lot of people that have never had a, quote unquote negative experience with a cop.
And they've never known another human to know a human who has.
Right. I mean, brothers, sisters, friends, coworkers. I mean, the more people you know, the more likely you're going to know somebody who's been screwed over by the system and the police. But apparently not. Or apparently they can just tell themselves, oh, well, he must have done something wrong to deserve the police coming after him.
That's what people believe.
Right.
People believe that.
The toll-free number here tonight is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can take control of the airwaves. We'll talk more about your rights and the police coming up here on Free Talk Live. You can take control. Bring up anything.
Don't know what contaminants are lurking in your water? Time to get a ProPure. Take advantage of ProPure's holiday sale. Save 25% on all ProPure water filter products. Sale's good through December 31st. There's a ProPure water filter for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Negotiation isn't just something union leaders and sports agents do. Your entire day is a series of negotiations. If you have young children, you know that. In fact, your kids can teach you a lot about negotiating with grown-ups. According to the world's greatest negotiator, Herb Cohen, author of You Can Negotiate Anything. Herb says that kids understand the process of decision-making within an organization. When one parent says no, they'll ask the other. And Cohen says children persist and persevere. And like smart negotiators of all ages, kids know that no is an opening bargaining position. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important, especially if you're a job seeker. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live.
And I still swore to the Commander-in-Chief.
What oath is higher?
I'm not going
to
to stand up and go AWOL because, I don't believe.
Well, wait, nobody said you had to go AWOL. Did you swear 2 oaths, one to the Commander-in-Chief and then one to the Constitution?
You swear one to the Constitution as your Commander-in-Chief as your executive order.
Which part of the oath is the priority? Is it upholding the Constitution? Well, so whatever the commander-in-chief says is what goes. It
that
doesn't
sounds like
matter,
a cult of personality to me.
It doesn't matter if it's unconstitutional.
This is a nation of laws, supposedly, I was told, and since the Constitution's the highest law in the land, if the commander-in-chief violates that piece of paper, then you should, as a person who swore an oath to that Constitution, go in there and arrest him.
Okay, well, I mean, you're making sense.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It is Free Talk Live. Dial on in, toll free, take control of the airwaves. Bring up anything that's on your mind. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. LibertyStickers.com is one of the ways you can reach thousands of people with the ideas of liberty. You can do it right from the back of your car via a bumper sticker from LibertyStickers.com. They've got a vast selection of witty, poignant, pithy, and downright bombastic, liberty-oriented messages for you at LibertyStickers.com. They've got a huge selection, but if for some reason there's something they don't have that you want, they can custom make stickers for you as well. So head over to LibertyStickers.com. Our toll-free number here tonight is 855-450-FREE. With you here, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Daryl.
So we were talking about this crazy man who decided he was going to get out of his car in Bakersfield, California, armed with a rifle, apparently brandishing that rifle, and then was shot 9 times, I believe it was.
Police shot 9 times. The media was not sure how many times he was actually hit by bullets.
Well, he was hit enough to put him in the hospital, and
yes.
He did manage to survive it and is now facing multiple charges. I think it was like 11 counts, including felonies, so on and so forth.
Initially charged with 11 offenses, and then at his arraignment, they added attempted murder.
It's just incredible. And his belief was,
and still is, that police are good.
And he was going to prove that by getting out of his car. He was going to prove a theory of his that when he got out of the car, that the police would just kind of, what?
Oh, thank you for showing us this firearm that you're not allowed to have, Mr. Felon, sir.
So let's just stop down here for a quick tip for anybody who's being pulled over by the police. If there's something in your car that you don't want the police to find, whether it's a gun or drugs or cash or, whatever it is that you've got, don't show it to them. If they're going to search your car, they're going to search your car. Whether they do it illegally or legally is another question. Frequently, they will do it illegally.
And don't agree to let them search your car.
Correct. Never agree to letting them search your car. The thing is,
and if they go to search your car, be very explicit about the fact that you do not consent, although physically resisting is also a bad idea.
Correct. The best thing you can do, as you're saying, is let it be known you don't consent. And if you have the ability, if you're not in handcuffs or whatever, record that situation. So if you have evidence of you telling them that they don't have consent, that's even better than you just telling them that you don't have consent. Now, as far as recording goes, you can always have a dash cam. As long as the power is applied to the dash cam, it will continually record whatever it is that's going on in your car. Of course, you also have your cell phone. If you have a smartphone, you can put Cell 411 on that smartphone. It's CELL, Cell 411. And then that actually has a live video streaming option in it. So you can alert your friends to what's happening to you. Like, hey, I got pulled over. It shows your friends your location in case they want to come out and help you out. And then also, if you choose to stream video of that, your friends can watch and see what's happening. So those of them that can't come out to help, at the very least, they can watch and make sure that you're okay or not being shot to death by the police or whatever. So having video recordings of what goes on, very important. This isn't legal advice, just some suggestions here, because I'm not an attorney. But it's my understanding that if the police do not have probable cause, that's when they have to ask you to search. So if a cop is asking you to search, that's usually proof that they don't have any reason to do it.
Even if they
no, not
do.
necessarily, because they'll try to. I mean, especially the cop is probably not an attorney, so they'll try to like stack justifications. So even if they think they have probable cause, they'll try to get consent to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because it's less paperwork. If you agree to the search,